Hey everyone, I'm Kyzuine, though you may also know me as Pink Eye Fan 2025, Kit, or just the letter Q. As of recording this, I'm sitting around the 6K rank range on the global leaderboard over on Bancho. I've been playing Osu for nearly 4 years now, clocking in around 700 hours of recorded playtime. Yeah, I know, some would call that pretty fast. Curious how I did it? Of course you are, that's why you clicked on the video. Well, the real secret, it's honestly just passion. Yeah, probably not what you were expecting, but hear me out, there's more to it. And I do have actual tips and tricks that help me get where I am today, so I figured, why not share them with you? I've been a farmer since the start, so whether you're grinding from a 7 digit to 6, 6 to 5, or pushing into the 4 digit territory, I may have something here for you. I'll also talk about hitting milestones, managing nerves, and just basically navigating the journey. Quick disclaimer before we dive in, everything I'm about to share is based on my personal experience. What worked for me may not work exactly the same for you, and that's totally fine. Figuring out what clicks is part of the process. On a more personal note, I deal with hyperhidrosis while playing. I'm colorblind, protanopia, and I've developed some wrist issues over the years, partly from the game and partly from real life. If you ever feel pain while playing, seriously, please consult a doctor. Knowing the difference between pain and simple discomfort is really crucial for actually improving safely. Another little side note, if you struggle with hyperhidrosis as well, my solution was just this $12 bottle of liquid chalk, which worked very well. You can get your own on Amazon like I did. Anyways, with that kind of stuff out of the way, let's jump right into it, starting with my first real grind, breaking into 6 digit. Honestly, my biggest piece of advice, especially if you're starting out, is simple. Have fun and don't rush the process. I know those high star maps look tempting, and trust me, they're fun. But it's way more important to stick to the basics early on. Mastering your core mechanics is really what's going to carry you later. Rushing this part, it's gonna slow you down in the long run. Focus on maps you can consistently hit above 95% accuracy on. Work towards full combos, and gradually push that accuracy to 98. It might sound boring, but this is how you build that solid foundation. Truth is, it's really not that hard to break into 6 digit, and this is the perfect time to lock in and really learn. After this, most of the journey becomes grinding and farming anyways. My first tip of advice for you guys trying to get into 6 digit is truly just play longer maps, and most importantly, pick songs you actually enjoy. This stage is where you figure out if Osu is really just something you want to commit to, or if you're like me, just become a little too dedicated and maybe hyperfixate. Because honestly, what's the point if you're not enjoying yourself? Especially here, early on, your focus should be on having fun. There's no need to hunt down the most optimized PP maps right now. Save that for later. Get comfortable, get your concepts down, and aim for solid 4-star full combos with high AC before you even think about farming. Another thing, skins. Osu has so many customization options that finding the right skin can be overwhelming. But this rank, this is where I found what became my forever skin. And honestly, it helped me a lot. Having a skin you're comfortable with means you're not cycling through hundreds of them just to find the one for the map. For me, it was the Bacon Boy Vaxe skin, specifically the white and blue version. I stuck with it for a couple months, but then had the idea to tweak it, add a little flair that worked better for my reading and for my colorblindness. I spent the night editing it, figuring things out, and ended up with a skin that cycles between white, red, and blue. What I mean by this is the white jumps can't go into white jumps, and the red jumps can't go into blue jumps, and vice versa. No back-to-back same color jumps, which seriously helped reduce misreads. But yeah, enough about my skin. The takeaway is lock in your mechanics, find a skin you're comfortable with, and most importantly, enjoy the game. Do that, and you'll hit 6 digit before you even realize it. Now that you're 6 digit, where do you go from here? This is where the path really splits. Either take the scenic route, play at your own pace, enjoy the game, or you start grinding hard, pushing yourself every day to climb. You can swap between these at any time, but if you're looking for rank gains with minimal playtime, the grind route is for you. If you wanna just have fun, that's fine too. Keep this advice in mind for the days you feel like improving. By now, you've probably noticed that shorter maps with difficult sections can give you the same amount as PP as longer, consistent maps. This is where most farmers start gravitating towards because of the quick bursts of PP rather than grinding marathon maps. That's exactly the route I chose. Shorter maps, retrying when needed, because the old PP system pre CSR was generous even with last note misses. I won't dive deep into long consistency maps because honestly, that's not my area, but here's what you should know moving forward. This stage is really just about pushing your star rating, going from 3 to 4, 5 to 6. The jump from 4 to 5 stars usually feels the quickest, but some players find 5 to 6 even faster. Depends on your strengths, whether it's raw aim or rhythm, I see. Quick reminder, the 6-digit rank range is huge. 100k to 999k. So don't fall into the trap of comparing yourself to someone far outside your rank bracket. As for tournaments, I'd honestly stay away unless you're closer to 100k. There's way too much D-ranking in 6-digit tournaments. Think smurfing in Counter-Strike or Valorant. It ruins the experience unless your goal is just to meet people and broaden your skills. Now, let's talk about the biggest mistake I see with people at this rank. Farming maps with zero regard for accuracy. Accuracy matters so much more than blindly chasing PP, especially now with CSR. If you're farming 7 stars with 89% AC at a 5 to 5.5 star skill level, you're not improving, you're gambling. Seriously, stop playing stuff you can't confidently FC with at least 96 to 97. RNGing endings for Lucky Score doesn't build skill. Instead, push for high AC FCs on maps within your comfort zone. That's where real progress happens. Now, about overweighted maps. Yeah, they exist. Maps that give way more PP than they should, because of how the system calculates it. They're fine for quick gains, but don't rely on them too hard. If you're consistently FCing maps with solid AC, you're good. You don't need to have to chase these kind of exploit maps. Now let's talk a little bit about skill sets. This is a really important part. Please do not skip this. By now, you should be comfortable playing at least 2 mods. Yes, no mod does count in this scenario. Those 4 mods are no mod, DT, hidden, or hard rock. Hidden double time just counts as DT, by the way, because it's kind of a preference mod. Ideally, I'd recommend learning no mod in DT or no mod in hard rock. Hidden is great too, but like I said earlier, it's really just a preference mod, but the PP gains are solid if you enjoy playing it. Having 2 skill sets lets you farm maps more efficiently, plus learning high AR early makes DT way easier down the line. A little bit about my home mod, you could say, my main, DT. DT feels tough at first, but once you adjust, it is quite literally the easiest farming mod. Think of it like this. DT's difficulty curve spikes really early, smooths out once you get the hang out of it, spikes again in around 10.3 AR, smooths out once again, and then spikes at AR 11. Learn it now, or hate yourself later, because DT farming is kind of free once you get the hang of it. Side note, don't play with gamma abuse unless you're on a really, really bad monitor. Like, if you are under 75 hertz, maybe even under 144, you could make the argument. Don't use it otherwise, because it really just won't help you in the long term. You are not letting yourself learn how to read it. Again, focus on accuracy while playing. There's no point in playing maps praying for 89% RNG scores. This is a rhythm game. If you're doing all this aiming and mashing, just go play on a relaxed server. You might have way more fun over there. I'm not perfect at AC either, but I make sure the maps I farm are maps I can AC, and that's what matters. Comfort matters too. Your setup, not so much. If you're uncomfortable sitting at your desk, you won't focus. Find a natural position, set your area, and stick with it. Your body needs that consistency for muscle memory. Same goes for keybinds, mouse sensitivity, and even your environment. Adjust your lighting, sound, whatever you need. Assuming you've reached the higher ranks of 6 digit, now using farm websites might be pretty useful. They pull player data and show you maps that are good PP for your skill level. Generally, shorter maps mean harder patterns, so expect that. And remember, accuracy is your best friend at this rank. It is the fastest, most reliable way to climb. Stop searching for 100 PP maps way above your skill level, you're not hitting them, and it's a waste of time. When it comes to farming PP maps, I'd honestly recommend looking for ones within 30 PP of your top play. It's honestly the most efficient way to build consistency, keeps you improving while you farm instead of praying for a lucky score. Of course, during pop-up sessions, go wild, play whatever feels good, and push yourself if you can actually play the map. Just remember, you're going to revisit those higher star maps later once your AC is better and your mechanics are solid. So unless you're strictly playing for fun, don't waste time on maps that are way out of your league right now. It's not worth it. If farming ever feels miserable, mix in fun maps. Osu is also a mental game. Burnout is real. Even I get tilted, but giving up is worse. I hit 5 digit with only 215 hours. Yeah, pretty goddamn fast, but that was also a couple years ago. So don't beat yourself up if you're not there yet. Improvement takes time, and rushing it really only hurts you. Other than that, I really don't have much more advice as long as you're having fun. So, my final takeaway for you guys trying to hit 5 digit is whether you're farming or just vibing, just have fun while you do it. You'll improve faster when you're actually enjoying the game. Who would have thought? And always remember accuracy over RNG every single time. So now that you're close to, or actually just hit 5 digit, congrats! That's your first truly important milestone. You've either made it or you're right there. And honestly, this one hits harder than hitting 6 digit, or even scoring your first 100 or 200, maybe even your first 300. Why? Because this one took actual time and effort and learning. It means you're doing something right. But now that you're here, should you even be doing? How do you optimize your playtime while farming? The answer, pretty simple. Keep focusing on maps you can ack. This means revisiting those low accuracy FCs you may have set earlier, trying new maps, or going back to old maps you once played no mod, but now feel comfy DTing. It's all worth going back to. Keep slowly pushing into more space maps while working on your accuracy. If you're playing a map where aim is the challenge, focus on the aim. If you're just confident in your aim, focus on your accuracy. If you're just gambling for RNG scores, once again, just stop. It's not helping you. Like you've got so much things you could do way worth your time. Personally, I used farm websites as the one shown earlier in the video and focused hard on accuracy because accuracy PP is truly busted at this rank, and it stays busted till you're pushing into 4 digit. Even then, it's still pretty broken. Some days you're gonna feel like you can't aim. My fix? Literally just stare at every note, stop relying on peripheral vision, and actually verify where you're aiming. It helped me so much, and I still use that when I mind block or misread patterns. Doing this on slightly lower star maps that give PP is huge for aim and reading, while staying productive. Accuracy will carry you, especially if you're playing lower star stuff, and that still rewards you. Also, don't forget your second skill set from 6 digit. You'll need it. It basically keeps you sane. If you're burnt out on tapping fast, play no mod. If no mod feels slows, swap to DT. Don't lock yourself into one mod until you're around maybe 30k. Like, seriously, you don't want to be that guy who can only play one type of map. For me, even now at 6k, I can play hard rock decently, even though I main DT. It's just good to have options, basically. If you're 5 digit and just now trying to learn how to farm properly, or want to just climb ranks, I really hope you've got some mechanics down. If not, just reread the 6 digit to 5 digit advice and carry it over. Same concepts, but now there's a little more depth to it. This is also the point where just making an attempt to log in every day for just a few maps becomes crucial. It forces your body to keep these mechanics fresh. Skip a day or two, that's fine. Any longer, and you might need to derust. And derusting is pretty miserable sometimes. My advice, just log in, warm up to a state where you are basically just warmed up, and if you're not feeling it that day, just log off. But warming up just by itself will keep that consistency for you. Around 60k, I took a break. My mental just went down the drain from IRL shit, some depression, basically everything. So I basically just quit the game. And you know what? Sometimes you need that. Farming is brutal on your mental. If you're not setting scores, and even if you are, it gets to you. So take a week, take a month, hell, even take 2. Come back when your head's clear. When I eventually came back to the game, my passion came back as well. Huge shout out to Marami for doing the Ascension to Heaven 3 mod hype. Like, that basically got me back into the game, so single-handedly Marami got me back into the game. Anyways, I started playing for fun again. I started playing some no mod A maps because I was super DT leaning at the time. I even choked my first 300 while playing that. It happens. And then I kind of quit again. But hey, I'm 6k now, right? So obviously I came back. But not for 9 months. When I did, I was basically dead set on not letting my top play be an SS on Sorewa Chizana. So I grinded. I derusted hard on lower star maps first. Then lower star maps that still gave me PP. And then pushing up to my former skill range, all while focusing on accuracy. If you haven't noticed, the entire theme to this video is just focus on your accuracy. Dropping star rating to build consistency is basically worth it. Yeah, it's not the most enjoyable, but if you're not willing to do that, you're not really willing to improve. You just kind of want your rank to go up without any of the effort. And Osu is half skill, half mental. Fix your mindset, basically. People have done way more with way less. You got really no one to blame but yourself. And that's why Osu is so great. The game is dependent on you. And that's fine. You just gotta accept it and kind of move on. A little side note, during this time I upgraded to a 144Hz monitor and DTE became way easier. I never used Gamma in the past, so I'm just gonna say, if you're considering upgrading your monitor just for video game purposes, or you have spare money lying around, I'd say it's definitely worth upgrading. But you don't need an upgraded monitor. It was just a slight bit of convenience, you could say. Once I mentally broke the 300 barrier, more 300s came. I started high AC farming and improving fast. The meta at the time was speed. Maps like Glory Days and Lionheart basically dominated the field. But I couldn't play stream maps at all, and I basically still can't. If you remember the kind of first dancer clip in the background of the video, I had 94% AC on a stream map. So yeah, I really just can't play streams. So I just started farming more maps that were basically common for my rank. No weird map abuse, just normal farming, you could say. And eventually, I crawled towards 4 digit. I set my first 400 PP on Cold Green Eyes. Insanely high AC. Sight read, 3 minutes long. Consistency, and a bit of luck. Also during this time, I switched from hover to drag and changed grips to survive longer maps. So maybe consider it if you want a little bit of more consistency or just want to try something new as well. During this 400 PP era, you could say, I came up with a tapping technique called metronoming. Basically, I tense my pinky or thumb depending on which note I want to hit. It keeps my tapping on time, basically using an internal body clock. It's kind of hard to explain, but if you're curious, maybe I'll ask and I can make a video on it, a little tutorial or something like that. During this time, I also became a retry spammer. Hundreds of retries per map. It kind of happens. Use caution though when retry spamming, because it can backfire if you aren't consistent. One bad run, low AC FC, and you'll hate that run forever, basically. Getting close to 4-digit was hell, as 4-digit is a massive achievement. You've put in the work, and it feels great. I plan to quit at 4-digit, but basically all the adrenaline, all the mental fulfillment, everything kept me going. So I never ended up quitting. But pushing for it sucked. I couldn't FC anything. I couldn't set anything. I was stuck a few hundred ranks away for weeks. And then something kind of hit ranked. And I came back from a break because I was taking a mental break because I just couldn't do it. And I farmed Chikado Chica Chica. And yeah, it just kind of happened. And sometimes the play less method is more. Less is more sometimes. Just knowing when to take a break, when to log off, and when to skill push. That's basically everything in this game. Skill pushing, basically just playing maps just outside your FC range, usually with not so great AC, a couple more misses than you're used to, and cutting down miss count over and over if you're retry spamming it, and building skill. You also want to improve your AC while at it, because you know AC PP is everything. And now with CSR, you basically get rewarded for it. But just don't abuse it. Retry spam for kind of AC and not so much miscount or FC. And for the love of God, please don't gamble on maps you can't FC and you're just hoping for a run. And that's basically it. That's kind of everything that got me where I am. I still do basically everything in this guide. So, yeah. The only difference, one day I woke up and knew how to stream 270, so I can kind of play speed now. I really can't give you advice on how to learn speed or anything like that, because I just literally woke up one day. So, I wish I could make a guide on that, but this is kind of the best I got for you. But even with the ability to play speed, at the heart, I'm just a good old DT farmer. If this helped or entertained or made you just think a little about your playstyle, amazing. Maybe I'll make more videos like this. If you're curious about my journey to 3-digit, I stream live over at twitch.tv/Kyzuine, and if you've got any more ideas for videos, hit me up. I'm planning on doing a mapping journey as well, as I'm slowly inching my way towards ranked mapper status. Anyways, I think that's all for the video, and if you have any questions, feel free to hit me up on Osu or on Discord. Anywhere you can basically contact me, I will usually always respond. And just like that, that's the video. Anyways, yeah, I'll catch you guys around. See ya.